Vala Morgullis, everybody's Hype Swatch is back again for another edition of our Song of Ice and Fire epic reread. And, as you can see, it's the thumbnail again because OBS. So, I am Don Willi. Today with me you have the crew, as normal. We have Sir Lt Giles, Big Game James Bichelle, and the man, the myth, the hater, Lt Targaryen Steamboat. Alright, so, today we are talking about the AFFC Prologue. My chapter 1 this time. Thank you very much to all the folks out on Twitter who voted for that one. So, this is the chapter where we get Pate, and we get another view kind of from the small folk to a certain extent, and this is our first kind of foray into the Citadel, so you know how that goes. And we get introduced to Pate, who is called Pig Boy by his friends, kind of, sort of. I'm still not sure what the hell Pig Boy means, but you already know what that is.
Thought it has to do with the story that there was a tale of Pate the Pig Boy, and he was kind of like a comedy character who would, like, in the tales, he would, like, goofily end up. It was like I don't know, like Mr. Bean or something like that. He would save the day in a comedic way, or like Mr. Magoo or something. I don't know.
No, that part I got. I just don't understand why exactly, like, what the name Pig Boy is supposed to symbolize. So, I mean, if anybody in the chat happens to know, like,
I think it's because of that character. The character that was those stories were based on was called Pig Boy.
No, I mean, but he was just no. But the character was called Pate the Pig Boy. So I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly, like, where does the Pig Boy part come from?
Could it trace back to his younger years, possibly?
I think it's the fat, goofy guy, kind of like Peter Griffin or something.
All right, but other than Pate, who is our POV character, we get a man who calls himself the Alchemist, and we'll get into that person's true form later, like their cell or something. But also we get other people from the Citadel who are there with Pate. We have Alleras the Sphinx, who is an acolyte acolyte or novice? Acolyte. Point.
She's got 3 links in her chain. I don't think they actually tell what rank she is, but whatever 3 links mean.
Right. I mean, still acolyte. Just not more than a novice, because novices don't have any links at all. Acolytes have at least 1 link. And
how many links did Oberyn have? I can't remember.
7, I thought.
Yeah. I think Maester's... I think a whole Maester's chain is like 10 or something like that. I think 10 is a whole Maester, and like 7, it was just like, why didn't you stay? And Oberyn's kind of like, just kind of got bored with it. I had other shit to do in my life. We get Armen, who is another
Armen the Acolyte.
Acolyte?
I thought it's Armen that's an acolyte, right? Armen the Acolyte?
Yes, Armen is an acolyte. Alleras, I believe, is a novice still. No. You know what? It doesn't matter. Whatever. Look, the point is, we get Alleras, we get Armen, we get Emma, we get Mollander, we get Roone, and we get Leo. The only person with 2 names here, that Leo, is Lt Giles, who, for some reason, even though he was part of the City Watch for Oldtown, he is now studying to be a Maester. And apparently him being a Tyrell, while most of the Tyrells seem pretty cool, this one is a dick. So, Yeah, so basically, the story starts off.
And
Hmm?
just for,
I'm sorry, say it one more time.
I was
James, you went robot on us.
Yeah, you're breaking out. I can't really hear you.
Oh boy, did we lose James?
You might have lost James.
Oh damn. James, call us back if you can. All right, so yeah, so we start off basically with Pate and all of the fellow acolytes training to be maesters. They're at a pub called Quill and Tankard, and he's thinking about a girl named Rosey, who is the daughter of a serving maid there. She's 15, and at this point, Pate is 18, and the serving maid tells everyone, "Hey, look, you can basically take my daughter's virginity for a golden dragon." So Pate has been saving up, but he has nowhere near enough to get a golden dragon because it's I forget how many silver stags equal a golden dragon, and he's got like a few silver stags and a bunch of coppers, and it's like, yeah, kind of no dice.
If I had to guess, I would say it's 10 silver stags, but I could be wrong.
I think it's more than 10 silver stags, man. I think it's
Yeah,
like
I thought it was like 100 or 1,000.
yeah, it's something crazy. It's something real astronomical.
Mm-hmm.
And even like for coppers, like to get a silver stag is like 5,000 coppers or something like that, and to get a golden dragon is like 1,000 silver stags. So it's something crazy.
Yeah, well, the currency is kind of crazy in this world. Like, I mean, what does Ant guy get? Like 1,000 gold, 1,000 dragons, and he somehow spent it all. Like,
Yeah, it was like, how the hell did you
yeah,
wind up broken like 3 months?
yeah, exactly.
Oh man. But so yeah, the other students are talking about dragons, and you know, Pate is waiting for an alchemist that said he would meet him there that evening. He talked to him, and the alchemist talks about that he exchanges iron. He turns iron into gold, and at that point, he had told Pate, like, "Look, I'll give you a golden dragon if you steal an item from me." And at first we don't get what the item is, but the only thing Pate can think about is like, "Look, I gotta get that gold dragon because Rosie's a virgin. I like her. Think she likes me, even though I'm a scrub, and I need Rosey. I need that in my life." He's thinking about going across the narrow sea and having adventures and all this other stuff that really on the inside he knows that, like, yeah, this shit is a pipe dream, but he's just like, a man can dream, so a man should dream, kind of thing.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
finally, yes. James is back.
Okay. Well, what I was trying to say, I just wanted to clarify the fact that Alleras and Armen are indeed acolytes, and Roone and Mollander are novices. Just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
What were you just talking about right now?
We're just kind of talking about Peyton, what he wants to do in life.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I just quickly wanted to say, I mean, I personally think Pate is pretty pathetic. I mean, it took him, 5 years? He can't even get a chain. I mean, he's out here not studying. He's trying to chase some tail. I don't know. I personally think Pate's kind of pathetic, but that's just me.
I mean,
And he didn't even do a good job at that. So
yeah, listen, man, he's out there simping for dollars right now. He's trying to slay some young chick, and it's funny because like
The problem I have here is that he's more of a I need things to come at me to make things happen. Like he thinks about like how great. Oh, I got Walgrave. I'm under Walgrave now, so he knows so much about Ravenry that he'll be able to teach me everything. And then he finds out that Walgrave is senile and can't really teach anything. But instead of taking initiative and being like, well, what can I learn from the other maesters? He just like stuck with Walgrave.
I mean, to me, the dumbest thing about Pate is that I feel like the risk he's taking to do what he's doing, what we see at the end at the chapter, is like not worth what he got.
Yeah, like he should have been asking like for thousands of gold instead of just
one. Yeah, that to me, that's the dumbest thing about Pate.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a big picture guy, and like I said, we're gonna get to the item that the alchemist told him he wanted to steal for the golden dragon. He told him like, look, I'll come back in 3 days. Meet me here at Quill and Tankard, and we'll go over the terms of our agreement, and I'll give you the gold dragon. And Ion Trone in the chat says Pate is the average U.S. college student.
I would call him the average. I'd call him like the average junior college like dropout.
I think Pate thinks he's clever.
Yeah, and listen, you get people a lot of times who they happen to get lucky and come across certain situations where they just happen to stumble upon knowledge of certain things that in other people's hands they'd be like, oh, I can really make something out of this, and would really make something out of it. And he's just thinking about short term, like, oh, okay, cool, I've had this one thing on my mind and I can use this big thing to get that small thing. And that's his biggest misstep.
How come Pate doesn't hit the gym, or the, well, in the case of Westeros, like, like do some yeah, get in shape, or instead of doing what he did, he could go try and impress this young maiden like that, but he wants to take the easy way out.
Well, he doesn't even hit the book. Like, obviously, Pate is not the hardest worker. We can figure that out here.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, actions, the way he thinks.
Well,
are we gonna talk about like how they start out with talking rumors? Then I really like how they do these little rumors. It's almost, well, it's not quite Kurosawa Rashomon, but we get rumors that they're trying to analytically talk about the rumors of dragons, and like one saying that so many people are corroborating with this, and then like I think it was Armen who's like finding holes. He's like, well, they said it's over here, she's over there, but as we as readers know, that's just the journey that Daenerys is taking.
Right.
And they, George does even a good job. He would throw some things that aren't even true in here, mixed in with some truths, which is pretty brilliant. I don't know. I guess I just wanted to say I really enjoyed that. I enjoy that kind of writing that George R. R. Martin does. He doesn't this is a real good example where you can't trust always what a character thinks. Just because it's on the page doesn't mean it's true.
I'm definitely not the biggest Daenerys fan, but anytime in the book, and I don't know how many times it is, but anytime they refer to her as the Silver Queen, I love that.
Yeah, I think it's good because it's it's one of those things where to me it's good. I like it as I've dabbled in some writing, but I think I like it when like what's happening, and you can see it from another character's eyes, and they see it differently, or they don't have the full facts of everything, and you can just like see different perspectives and how they interpret things and how it's interpreted differently because they don't have the full picture that the reader does. So I personally like that kind of stuff. But also, I was just thinking about this with Pate. Also, I mean, Maesters, they have to take a vow of celibacy, don't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
Well, he's planning on leaving. So
I guess, yeah. I guess that's the thing. Yeah, it's if he must be planning on leaving if he wants to get with Rosey. But yeah.
Yeah, I
was
mean,
Yeah, because
yeah, it's one of those things where he was like, all right, the first thing that he thought about when he became a maester was, when he went to go study to be a maester, and he talks about it later in the chapter, was, his hopes of serving a lord in the castle and lord depending on him for his wisdom, and thinking to himself how he would get rewarded with like a white horse, and get to ride high through the city. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, those were his hopes at the time, but here he is 5 years later. He does not have not even one link on the chain at all, and he's probably thinking to himself like, you know what, yeah, I got this pretty young girl. Maybe if I can just get the golden dragon and take her out of here, maybe my life will be better.
Is it a vow of the vow of self? Is it chastity as well, or is it just like the Night's Watch, where it's just like, I'll take no wife?
That's a good question. Chat. If you know the answer to this, put it in the chat. 'Cause I'm not sure.
No, I know. I mean, it's not just I don't take no wives. It's they straight up have to be celibate. When you become an acolyte, you got to take a vow of celibacy.
So then, okay, I got a question here, and I can't remember if this happened in the book, but I know it happened in the show for sure. Pycelle was sleeping with Horus, so if Cersei wanted to, can she report him to the Citadel and get him expelled? If she wanted to?
But they can just kill Pycelle if they really wanted to kill Pycelle, get rid of Pycelle. But the thing is, Pycelle's on their side, so they're not gonna.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying.
But yeah, you're right. If she wanted to, then they could take care of Pycelle. So obviously, these rules, just like the Night's Watch, even though they take these vows, and as we just see so much in the story, even with knights, everything, many people don't take their vows that seriously.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, it's funny, Jerry, how you brought up about the dragons and the different stories that people tell, and that's kind of where they go into Marwyn as well, because Marwyn,
that's when that's a little bit later when Leo comes in.
Right. I'm just saying, like, in terms of like, Marwyn is the only person that really believes in stories. Like, the rest of them are kind of like, all right, well, the rest of them kind of like, yeah, well, we hear the stories. Do we actually really believe it, though? Some of them outright don't believe it. A couple of them like, well, it might be true.
Is this our first, descriptive mentioning of Marwyn? I mean, obviously we had Mary Mazdur mention Marwyn, but it was more of I was trained by a guy named Marwyn.
I think this is the first. Detail. Yeah, I think this is the first one where we get like full details about the Valyrian steel rod, mask, and the ring. They call him the Mastiff. They call him the Mage, and what was the other thing that he killed a man with his bare hands? Like, I think that's where we get all that stuff from.
Yeah, and I love that was my favorite part of this chapter, is because I think Marwyn is really intriguing, and obviously it seems like he's lived a very interesting life. He's been to.
He's the most intriguing character. Like, as far as minor characters go, he might be number one of most intriguing. Yeah,
he's very intriguing. He's been all over the world. He's been in the Shadowlands, etc. So I would love to. I hope we get more of Marwyn. Honestly,
Marwyn's a rock star.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I think a lot of the, because if you don't listen to B-Fish and Poor Quentin's podcast, they were talking about how when George was writing a Dance of Dragons, and he had to rewrite, like, he was figuring out the Marinese Knot, he wrote, like, Quentin's chapter, like, of him arriving. He wrote a whole scenario like 3 different ways. Him arriving really, really early, right before, and then really late. And then like in the really late version, George had said that another character, he got there after another character got there, which makes me think Marwyn should have been in. Was going to be. There's a good chance Marwyn will be early in the Winds of Winter because he was almost in A Dance of Dragons. A Dance with Dragons.
I mean, well, you know what? It's yeah, Marwyn is an interesting character, and unfortunately, we only get like 1 chapter with him so far.
Yeah.
Hopefully we will get a lot more of him in the future because he is such an enigmatic presence throughout the story thus far. But
does anyone else have anything to say about Marwyn, or else I want to bring up another enigmatic presence in the story? That's another real minor one.
Nah, I got nothing else about Marwyn right now.
Okay, well, I mean, then Leo comes in, and we get mentioned. I forget who mentions him, but we do get mention of Lt Hightower, and how he's been stuck in that tower for so long. Just wondering if y'all have any thoughts about like what the hell is this man doing in that tower? What?
Hey, we said, Jerry, remember we talked about this a few months ago, I want to say, and how we said we're probably most definitely going to see him come out that tower in the Winds of Winter.
Well, yeah, I mean, something's going to happen because Oldtown's about to get hit by a force known as Euron Greyjoy. So.
And he's been in the tower the whole series, right? We have never seen him come out of the tower.
He's been in the tower for fucking years, I think.
Yeah, because I mean, he's mentioned in. Yeah, he's mentioned. Isn't he mentioned in one of the other books before this? I'm assuming he is.
I thought this was his first talk about like where he mentioned about being in that tower. But yeah, that's another thing. I really want to know what's going on in that tower that he has to stay in there for so long. Why he's not coming out? It'll be real disappointing if it turns out he's just like a.
Well, you know what?
Maybe.
Nah, I was gonna say, you know what's the one thing I'm thinking about?
What?
How tall is that damn tower? If people are saying you can see it, you can see the wall. Now, mind you, yes, we know you can't actually see the wall, but I'm like, how tall was the damn tower? Because it's kind of mentioned as like being in the clouds.
Well, I'm assuming if it's in the clouds, it's taller than the wall. Way taller than the wall. Wait, the wall's 700 feet, right?
Yeah.
So I'll just go out on a limb here and say that the tower is 1,000 feet.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, well, shit. I can see why he hasn't fucking come down. He probably damn near had a heart attack climbing up.
Well, maybe he's like got something up there like to communicate with people that we might talk about a little later, right?
Pardon.
1,000 feet? That's almost like Empire State Building height. That's I would say maybe it's about 500 feet at most.
No. If you should,
the Eiffel Tower is 1,000 feet.
Dude, Brandon the Builder was magnificent, so I want to just reach for the stars and say 1,000 feet.
I mean, 500 feet would put it like well higher, like maybe 600 feet. That would put it double the Statue of Liberty.
Well, I would want to say it's bigger than the wall, and the wall's 700 feet. At least maybe 800 feet than the wall.
Think about that. It's like impossible. Well, it's not impossible. We don't know the structure of it, but you'd have to have a nice base to get that high.
Oh, Brendan the Builder was magnificent.
Yeah, but there's still. I don't think we've seen these. Well, other than the fact that the ice is on the wall, we haven't really seen these break too much.
Well, let's just all be in agreement that it's big.
Well, I bet it's like Harrenhal big, maybe.
I mean, well, listen. Before we get too lost in the woods about this, probably here forever. Talking about how
Yeah.
tall is a damn high tower with no.
Let's just assume Oldtown is foggy. How about that?
Yeah, it's possible. All right. So yeah. Let's see here. Where did we leave off? Sorry, going. So yeah, these guys continue arguing about the dragons. Let's see here. They, know about Daenerys, and Alleras is actually the first one to bring up knowing exactly who Daenerys is, because they talk about, like, oh yeah, the Beggar King had a sister, and at first it kind of like, for some reason they thought it was Rhaenys, and then Alleras, being who he probably is, like, nope, that was Aegon. Thinking about Daenerys, she's the one with the dragons. Leo Tyrell comes in and he starts.
Well, before that, Don Willie, I like really the way Alleras says this. Like, she goes, "No, it was Prince Rhaegar's young son, Aegon, whose head was dashed by the Lion of Lannister's brave men." You know some serious. We all know how the British feel about that,
right?
Especially Sarella, who's, that was her aunt.
Right.
So we know there's some serious sarcasm going on, or something. She's either saying it extremely sarcastically, or she's just playing a great acting job here.
Right.
I would say great acting job.
Right, and the fact that they toast to Daenerys, though, when Leo comes in, he's kind of like, "Hey, I heard that toast."
This guy kind of reminds me a little bit of you. He like just wants to be happy, and he's like, "Let's just find a reason to do something hot drink. Let's do it, yeah." He doesn't even think about what he's saying. He's just like, "Let's find a reason, guys. What's up?"
I mean, no, because Leo kind of is like, "Yeah, I heard what you guys are toasting. Should I go tell my pops that you guys are, talking about Daenerys here? And we're supposed to be all about the Baratheons."
I find I find Leo interesting because I think this is George once again kind of because for the most part, most Tyrells have been relatively good characters. We've had our Garlands, but I mean, we've had Garland, but he's kind of a little shit. I mean, but Loras isn't malicious. He's not like this. He's not like Leo, where Leo is just like a dick. But I mean, I just think it's one of those things where George is like shown. He's shown some good tendencies with Lannisters. Now he's showing some bad tendencies with Tyrell. I wish we maybe So I think he's like showing that it's not all black and white with this. Every family has good and every family has bad, and Leo is a piece of shit.
Yeah. I like how he describes the glass candle. Like, he doesn't describe it very well. So, what is this glass candle? Because he talks about he actually saw Daenerys, and he saw her through the glass candle. And as we find out what a glass candle is, that it's burning, that there's several in the that they had never burned before. That they were always. It was part of a trial to become a maester. You're supposed to light the candle, or at least try and light the candle. But most people just go to sleep. That they don't even really try because it never works.
Well, the thing about it is, though, that the glass candles, like, so they put an obsidian candle in there as kind of a symbolic thing. Like, remember, the glass candles aren't made out of obsidian. The glass candles are their own thing. You have the one green one, and then the rest of them are black. And it was just kind of a thing where it's like, all right, well, yeah, since you guys want to believe in the glass candles and we don't know exactly what they are, we'll just kind of put this thing there as the symbolic representation to show you that, hey, well, yeah, it's made out of glass. You can't get glass to just light up and burn.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Pretty much explains it perfectly there, that one. But I do like that the one that they finally do, the one that they find is actually real and more when it gets working. It makes me wonder how they're like, how exactly does it show you things? Is it like the fucking Eye of Thundera, and you actually get like a clear vision with like fuzziness over it, or just giving you like weird images, kind of like Melisandre's when she looks at things in the flames? What do y'all guys think?
I mean, well, judging by the way that Daenerys talks about seeing Quaithe, or like the way that it's described when she's having visions with Quaithe in them, it pretty much seems as though it almost like does like a projection in the room, like in the like some like almost like a hologram, where you would see it.
D2.
Say again?
It's kind of like R2D2.
Yeah, you know, where you would see the person in the room, but they're not actually there.
I mean, that's kind of the vibe I was getting. I was kind of getting more like, I don't think you guys watch Harry Potter, but when Gary Oldman came out of the fireplace and like his face came out in the flames, and then Harry could see it. That's kind of how I envisioned the glass cannon.
Would it possibly be like astral projection?
Not necessarily, because I think you have to. No, because it's the glass candle that's doing the actual projection. I think astral projection is all in the mind. Like, so it's only in the mind, and I don't think you would feel it as almost like it would. It would be like if someone was standing right in front of you right now, kind of thing, and then you realize like, oh, they're not actually there.
Well, what about in Wizard of Oz when the Wicked Witch of the West is showing Dorothy, Andy M and all that in the crystal ball or whatever? Similar to that, possibly.
I'm trying to. No, not exactly.
That kind of fit the Eye of Thundera, wouldn't it? It's kind of similar to what that.
Well, no, you know what? It would be like when Jaga appeared out of the damn sword. Like, because the Eye of Thundera was like, you know, give me sight beyond sight, and he was looking through it and seeing stuff, but it wasn't as if someone was standing there. But, like, when Jaga showed up, that was a totally different thing. It was like, hey, Jaga, you're here. And he's like, not really. So it'd be more like that. And for those of you who were wondering, like, what the hell are you guys talking about? Thundercats, okay? The real Thundercats, not the BS they about to put on Cartoon Network.
Oh, Ricky Hunter, that's a good one too. In the first Ninja Turtles movie, where they pray where they meditate at the campfire, and then Splinter comes out of the fire.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Shout out to Ricky Hunt, Hail Hydra. Yeah, but so yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing with the glass candles. How they work, still a mystery. Because apparently it only takes one person with the glass candle to project to the other side. You know, you don't have to have a glass candle in order to. I guess you have to have a glass candle to communicate to someone. And you can talk to them through the glass candle, but like, yeah, they can't. You know, they can't just be like, hey, you know, Quaithe, can we talk? Unless Quaithe happens to be near the glass candle. Like, if you don't have one, you can't reach out.
Real quick, Irontron put in the comments a link that from the World of Ice and Fire, or no, Westeros.org, that says that the tower, I'm sorry, the high tower is taller than the wall.
Oh, is it? Well, there we go. So
okay. Shout out to Ion Trone. Always holding us down in the chats. Alright, man. So yeah, we want to talk about more about Leo, lazy Leo, who happens to be a dick. Or can we move on from
What,
Prince Tyrell.
why did Marwyn show it to fucking Leo, of all people?
You know what? Leo might have been able to tell a good story about how he actually believed that stuff, but I don't think that at the time, because I'm trying to remember, did he actually see? Yes, that's right. Leo actually saw the glass candle.
Yeah, that's how he comes in and like they're talking about dragons. He's like, I seen it. Marwyn showed it to me.
I mean, well, because remember, there's not too many people in the Citadel who really like talking to Marwyn, because of the way the other maesters have talked about him. And it seems at this point, because later on, obviously, when Sam shows up, in his chapter at the end, Alleras is with him. Alleras seems like, oh, this is the
Leo's there too again, I think, right?
Again?
I think Leo's there too again, isn't he?
No, it's Alleras and Pate. Pate is sitting in the corner, and I'll be honest with you, the first time I read that chapter, the first like 2 times I read the chapter, I was like, I didn't realize that Pate was sitting there that whole time. Like, cause Pate doesn't say anything until the very end, and I'm just like, wait, Pate was sitting in the room that whole time, and when we get to to the end of this chapter, it's gonna make that whole thing about Pate being there all that time even more interesting. But at this time, like in this chapter, it doesn't look like Alleras has taken to be one of Marwyn's kind of acolytes. Like it doesn't seem like the Sphinx is out there, trying to learn about the higher mysteries with Marwyn as of yet. And I think it's
Let's talk about the Sphinx. Why do we think the Sphinx is there? Obviously, she's a badass who's good at everything, which is why she got the name the Sphinx, because she's good at so many things. What do you think her mission there is?
I mean, well, look, pretty much everybody is, has already gotten the thing of this is Sarella sand, and there are 2 reasons why I think that Sarella is there. One, to kind of follow in her father's footsteps. Well, no, 3 reasons. One, to follow in her father's footsteps and to learn stuff because, she was always the more bookish one out of all of the sand snakes. 2, to see how well of a master of disguise she could possibly be by slipping into, something that is essentially a boys' club and be able to go unnoticed, and so then
it's not really any set true plan. It's more she's doing it for funsies kind of thing.
Well, no, I think that's part of it. But I was just gonna say the third thing I think is to find a way to topple the Lannister and Baratheon regime.
Boom. That's what I was looking for.
That's what makes how's I can't even think of his name right now. Dorn. That's what makes him such a genius.
Right. And by the way, I just looked it up. Leo is in that room with Pate and Alleras and what do you call it? In Marwyn at the end.
Really?
Yes, Sam actually recognizes him. He's like, I remember this fool.
Wait. So what? Did he just not say anything? Because I don't remember.
He just introduces himself, and then he didn't really say anything after that.
Maybe that's why I didn't remember him. Because it must have been a very short introduction. Like, hey, I'm Leo, and oh yeah. You know what? You're right, because it's when he gets brought into the room, and
right then.
And Sam thinks about how much of a dick he was. And then after that, he doesn't say anything.
Imagine that.
Yeah, so that's why I forgot about why I forgot about Leo being there, because he doesn't say anything other than, "Hey, yeah, I'm Leo Tyrell," and it's kind of like, Yeah, and then they go into Sam's thoughts.
Yeah, and he laughs at when Sam's like, "Yeah, they call me Sam the Slayer," and he laughs in his face. And then he's like, "Get over here, Slayer." He's a dick.
Mhm.
Chapter, Leo's a dick.
So, boom. All right, so yeah, we got Marwyn, the glass candles, and all that good stuff. I mean, look, there was a lot of information that was given about things that we're gonna experience going forward, and things that we've run into that we might not have necessarily known about in terms of how things work. And I think that was a good thing that George did in terms of, and he does that with a lot, especially with the prologue chapters and the epilogue chapters, is the info dumps. And that's why if you guys notice, most of the chapters I normally pick are either prologue or epilogue chapters, because we get a lot of story and world building in them. So that's why, if you notice, those are the chapters I normally kind of nominate for. Um. So yeah. So
Well,
after. Hmm?
I think now we're getting into Pate the Thief right now.
Yeah. So yeah, I was just gonna say, Pate comes back. It's been the 3 days or whatever, and Pate is trying. He wanted to not actually hang out with the group because he's gotten the item, and he's
We're
like,
gonna talk about how he got this item. How he
yeah,
went.
we're gonna talk about how he got the item. We're gonna talk about what the item is, and we're gonna talk about some of the other things he found uh, while he was procuring that particular item in just a moment. I'm just trying to set up the scene, everyone out there.
Take it away.
So Pate, walks into the Quill and Tankard. It has been 30, sorry, not 30. I don't know why the hell I just said 30. It's been 3 days. He wants to meet up with the Alchemist, but he sees his fellow brethren from the Citadel. And, at this point, you got Lazy Leo, you've got Alleras, and I don't think who else. You got Lazy Leo, Alleras. I think the whole crew is there at this point. And they're all drinking. And Leo is making one too many jokes about how he's gonna sleep with Rosey, and Pate, to a certain extent, is thinking, "I want to kill this dude, but I can't because he's a Tyrell. His father is a bannerman to, and the cousin to the Warden of the South. Leighton Hightower's sworn bannerman of the Tyrells. Uh, and this dude was captain of the City Watch before he came here. So yeah, I can't really mess with dude, but he's in his cups. And hey, sometimes as people do, they talk shit. Um,
I think
so
Pate's kind of a little bit of a whiny bitch because yeah, Leo's a dick, but kill him.
he's
being
drunk.
a dick.
No, I mean, what I was gonna say is, out of all the Tyrell children, is he the baby? Is he the middle?
Cousin.
He's a cousin.
Oh, he's a cousin. Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, he's the Lancel of the Tyrell family.
Oh, okay, that's
well,
right.
he's actually Mace Tyrell's first cousin, I believe. So Mace's children will be his second cousins.
Either way, I'm saying Lancel in terms of yeah, he's the douchebag cousin that really gets no kind of props.
Wait, he's Mace's cousin.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Commander of the City Watch is more respectful than a Maester.
I'm wondering why he gave up being Commander of the City Watch. So that seems a little odd.
Well, I mean, I'm not knocking being a maester. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of honor, I guess, in serving a family, but I feel like being the commander of City Watch would be more funner, in my opinion. You know?
Well, he is a member of a major family. So
Yeah, so I'm figuring he must have done something. He must have done something pretty embarrassing. You know, because it's like you go from being commander of the City Watch to now where you have to be in service to somebody else for the rest of your days, and you also would have to give up the last name Tyrell.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know, that's
You really have to give up your last name?
yeah, I mean, like, if you notice, we don't know any other maesters' last names. Like, I think
where they come from. Yeah,
Still,
right.
he was the commander of the City Watch. His dad is.
His dad is. Okay, my bad. I don't know why I thought it was him.
And they do have to give up their name when they become an acolyte. Same time, when you become an acolyte, you have to take the oath to give your last name and an oath to celibacy.
I guess that's why fucking Pate wants to bang Rosey so much you can't even get a fucking chain to even take the vow.
Yeah, I mean, it's been 5 years, so.
Damn.
It's like at that point you might not even
special plan. You know, he's on the Van Wilder timeline plan.
Well, I mean, at that point, 5 years you can't even get one chain. It's probably not going to happen. So might as well move on.
Yeah.
I mean, well, he's got nothing to move on to. Remember, he came from the Westerland, so at this particular point, if he tried to leave Oldtown, he's taking a walk that's a couple of 100 miles. He's probably like, other than you know the money he's stolen thus far, how is he getting home? And then it's like once they find out about him stealing that money, yeah, that's not going to really do him much good.
He's sure not thinking about the long run.
Oh, we've discussed. He doesn't think very much of the big picture.
Right. So, I mean, all right. So, yeah. Finally, though, you know, they've been drinking for a while now. It's almost dawn. They've done, you know, talking their shit, and they're like, all right, well, it's time for us to leave. We got to go. You know, everybody is saying, hey, let's pack up, go back to, you know, do our duties. Archmaester Ebros is giving a talk on urine. Which is ridiculous. I'm like, wait, what, the properties of urine?
It's an important lecture.
Oh my god.
I would tell Archmaester Euron to just kiss my piss. That's what I would think.
Oh man.
Kiss my piss.
Yeah, and you know, Alleras says to Pate, hey, look, you know, Archmaester Ebros is gonna. I mean, not Ebros. Shit, who's the one he's taking care of again?
Walgrave.
Yes. Yeah, Walgrave is gonna be up soon, and he's gonna have probably trouble making it to the privy without your help if he even remembers what the hell the privy is. And you know, Pate thinks about how he keeps on, like, he remembers all the damn ravens. But for some reason, this dude keeps on calling me Crescent. So apparently these guys don't know who Crescent is, or was at this point.
Well, Crescent's been gone forever. Like, he's in Dragonstone since.
Yeah, I mean, I chalked it up to
just a
like
little
about
yeah,
it's like Alzheimer's is what
No. I mean, I know that he has Alzheimer's or whatever, but I'm saying, like, you would figure that even if someone hasn't been around for a while, Crescent should have at least been.
Years he hasn't been around.
Yeah, I mean, but Crescent should have been known, you know, based off of the fact that he was serving Stannis.
All right,
I took it as like, you know, to me, what this told me was that Crescent also must have been kind of a dumpy, that they looked alike when they were kids, and then it's just like recalled in his brain, and that's the reason why Walgrave was calling him Crescent.
I mean,
that's a good point. That's a good point, because I mean, it was kind of dumpy what Crescent's idea to get Melisandre. I mean, that is kind of a stupid thing that Pate would think of. Now that I think about it, his poison plan.
Yeah, well, somebody else thought about that for him. Yeah, whatever. You know, Ricky Hunt in the chat said Stannis did Crescent wrong. Yes, he did.
He didn't do anything to Crescent. He just let Crescent do Crescent things. Crescent went Pate.
Man, listen now. Crescent was a dick to... Stannis was a dick to Crescent. Stannis was... He was a dick to Crescent.
This will just be devolving into an argument, but
yeah, if you want to hear that,
implied.
go back to sorry.
That's another chapter we'll do.
Yeah,
I'll just say,
talk about that.
It is implied that Crescent worked with Walgrave, so it's just, to me, this is just Walgrave having a bout of dementia, where he thinks Pate is Crescent because they probably had similar attributes. So that's what I chalked it up to.
What do you think was in that strongbox that got broke?
Well, they talk about the strongbox, and I was literally just about to get to that.
Okay, cool.
Before we get to the strongbox, let's just talk about how Pate threatens Leo Tyrell before he leaves, because Leo and the rest are, you know, everything is kind of breaking up. Leo still stays at the Quill and Tankard because, you know, he's just like, fuck it, and everybody else is leaving. And then Pate gets up to go and leave, and he's like, yo, man, I should fucking kill you, bro. I really should. And Leo's just like, man, shut your drunk ass up and get the fuck out of here before I have to hurt you.
Well, you know, I took it, it's kind of like, I kind of took it Leo did, like, he was pulling like a bully. Like, this is something that a bully would do, like, they're really craving attention and, like, friendship and stuff. So I think, like, him just sticking around there with Pate was just him, like, oh, I got nothing else to do because I'm a worthless bully, but I'm secretly feigning, like, I want friendship, but I'm going to bully him at the same time. It's kind of how I took, like, Leo, you know, still sticking there with him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, but that's part of the reason why I think, like, you know, when Pate says to him, like, yo, man, I should kill you, and Leo kind of, his reply is kind of like, man, if you know, shut the fuck up with the drunk talk right now. You're drunk, walk it off. You know, which is...
I don't fight duels with big boys.
Yeah, you know, and it's one of those things where you see that happen in a bar every now and then, where you get two people, you know, they're drunk, and they just start talking shit. You know?
Yeah.
It's what happens. You know? Yeah, so after this Pate is, you know, on his way to go back to the Citadel, and he's thinking about all of the stuff in the strongbox. He's thinking about all the stuff in the strongbox, and he's like, hey, you know what? If I put this stuff back, does that still make me a thief? So the items, and we've been holding off for a while on this. So the items that he actually took for himself out of the strongbox, one was a big black iron key that supposedly is a skeleton key for the Citadel. Basically can open all doors, and only archmaesters have those. Now, the thing about it is that there was a lock on the strongbox, and one of the other maesters thought that he actually stole the key, and he was like, no, I didn't steal the key. It was freaking Walgrave and his dementia broke the damn strongbox. looking for his misplaced key.
Do you guys think that I know this is off subject, but do you guys think Maester Pycelle has one of those skeleton keys since he's a Grand Maester?
I mean, I would imagine so.
I think only Archmaesters have it, so.
Well, isn't the Grand Maester like the head of all of them?
No, I think he's voted on by the Archmaesters.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what's another funny thing? Because for some reason he's thinking about King's Landing. And, like, because he's walking down the street. He's thinking about how beautiful Oldtown looks. You know, the high tower, the Citadel, the cobbled streets, everything is made of stone. And for some reason, he is under the belief that everything in King's Landing is somehow made of straw and all dirt roads. I was like, I'm thinking to myself, how would he get that kind of disinformation? I mean, especially this is the fucking capital. Like,
and I just, oh, my bad.
No, go ahead, James.
I was just gonna say that just to what LT was saying, just to bring up the hierarchy of the maesters. It's the seneschal is on top. He's elected by the archmaesters, and he's the one that governs all of them. Then there's the archmaesters, and then there's the grand maester, who's under the archmaesters. So Pycelle's not up the food chain. He's just elected to be like the maester's representative at the royal court.
So I always thought that he was the pope of the, but no. So the seneschal is like the pope of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're not really. I mean, I guess a pope would be. The pope is more like the maesters aren't really a religious thing. They'd be more like the college president, and then how about that? And then the yeah, and then the archmaesters would be like the ones in charge, like the dean of each school.
The board of regents.
Or board of regents. I mean, whatever you want to use, some both work. But yeah, there you
go. All right. Okay, so cool. Now we know the hierarchy. Because yeah, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I thought Grand Maester would have been a much more prestigious title.
I mean, it's still pretty prestigious. I mean, you're the main liaison to the royal court. I mean, it's still pretty prestigious.
No, I get that part. I'm saying in terms of I thought that it would have been I thought it would have been higher, you know. So all right, so wow.
Higher than the maesters.
Yeah, oh wow. So you know what? That gets me thinking now about the whole thing about we wear the perfumed seneschal.
There you go.
Could be. I mean, obviously seneschal is used in multiple functions in George's universe. He likes seneschals.
Right. I mean, I get that, but it's just, okay.
What is a seneschal and other? I feel like I've heard that before. James, is there a seneschal in Skyrim? For some reason, I feel like we've heard about a seneschal in Skyrim.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, maybe. But there's a seneschal. There's the one guy in with Danny. He's also a seneschal. I forget his name, but there's that guy too.
Okay.
All right. Okay. It is what it is with that one. All right. But yeah, this is kind of funny. I was thinking about, how Pate has the whole vision of King's Landing in his head with wood houses, thatched roofs, straw, and it's just like unless they just depicted it super wrong in the TV show. Now, mind you, we get mostly the capital. I mean, the actual, like, the Red Keep and the immediate surrounding area.
Maybe he's thinking of Flea Bottom.
Say that again?
Maybe he's just thinking of Flea Bottom.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know, because it sounded like he was thinking, like he was thinking about the whole city. He was like, unlike King's Landing, um, yeah, unlike King's Landing, here everything is made of stone, whereas in King's Landing it's all thatched houses and you know uh straw covered roofs and stuff. Like, huh, okay,
Maybe it is. I don't know.
all right, but all right. So anyway, other than that key, skeleton key, there was a bag of silver.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and got the bag of silver,
Miniature.
which say again.
Miniature. There's a miniature of a woman.
Yeah, now here's the thing I'm thinking, right? Because it says the miniature. There's a miniature of a woman that looks like Walgrave, but has a mustache, and then there's like you know, a
Lock of yellow hair.
yeah, of yellow hair, and then it says a lobstered glove, a lobstered like male glove that belonged to a prince. Right? But apparently Walgrave couldn't remember what prince that was.
Now, Pate did not take those last three things though. He didn't
Right.
take those.
Right, now I'm just talking about the stuff that he found. The only two things he took was the bag of money.
Wait, was he in the glove and he shook it and that's how it fell?
I think just the key was in the box.
Right,
And
the
he
key
shook
was
it
like
and
in a
it-
corner of the box or something like that.
Yeah, it was kind of confusing. I couldn't tell. He had it hidden in the glove, and he shook the glove and he fell, or he shook the box and it fell. He shook something and it fell.
Do you guys think Walgrave is friends with Kilgrave?
No.
Somehow I don't.
He does take the stags though. It shows that Pate thinks he's a better with money, better money manager than Guy, because he thinks he can go around the world with just some silver stags, where Guy couldn't go 10 feet with like thousand gold dragons.
Yeah, oh my god. And guy, oh, the dumbest man in the world with money. So G Math in the chat is asking, weren't the hair and glove alluded to in Dunk and Egg? Oops.
Were they? Can you elaborate on that, G-Man?
Yeah, I mean, if you have something, I mean, because I mean, like, if you're talking about the hair, it's not Tansel Too Tall, is it? No, it's not Tansel Too Tall.
Have blonde hair.
Well, I mean, let's think about. I mean, this gauntlet supposedly belonged to a prince. It's a male gauntlet. I mean, what Walgrave isn't. I mean, he's old, but it's got to be less than 100 years. So, what prince could that be? I mean, obviously, it could be Egg,
Right.
couldn't it?
It could be Egg, but remember, Egg became king. So wouldn't that have been more appropriate to say
Aegon 5 was a prince for I think from probably 20 to 35 until he became king.
Yeah, I mean, he was a prince at one point.
Right, but think about it, right? If someone became the king, I don't think you would say, "Oh, this was the prince's glove," because it's not like Walgrave was old at the point where it's not like he would have gotten dementia when Egg was king. So I'm saying, if anything, he would have remembered oh, this was a king's glove, maybe when he was a prince.
Remember it now. He might have always remembered it until he started getting dementia.
Yeah, I mean, you could also, you could argue that when Egg gave it to him, he was a prince at the time, and he just has dementia now, and he's like, he thinks he's back at that time or something. You know how amnesia or Alzheimer's crazy like that.
Could be, but also remember there is also the whole thing of was it not Darren? Which one was the one that Olenna Tyrell was supposed to marry that it turned out that he?
Yeah, it was Darren.
It was Darren?
Yeah. Not Darren the drunkard. It was the other Darren.
It was another Darren. One of Egg's sons, right?
Yeah, it was Egg's. It was Egg's third son because Duncan married Jenny of Oldstones. Harry's married his sister, and then Darren was gay.
Right. So I mean, I've been thinking for a while it could have been Darren. You know, because you got to think about it.
It does, but
I mean, well, think about it like this, right? Walgrave, and you know what? Hold on, I'm gonna check.
But, you know, I just thought about this. Couldn't it be from Maester Aemon? I mean, he was a prince. He was at the Citadel, obviously. I mean, couldn't it come from Aemon? Like it was a gift from Aemon or something?
Actually.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, right? The thing about it is, as far as we know so far, Aemon didn't do any kind of training with arms, as far as we know. Like, remember, even in the Duncan Egg books, he's like 10 years old when he's first mentioned, and he's going to the Citadel.
Yeah, but I mean, it could just have been like some sort of, you know, they're rich people. He comes from Targaryen blood. They could just be something that was hanging around, you know.
It could be, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, like the moment that I heard about that and it coming from a prince. Oh, wait up! There's another prince we didn't even think about. There's another prince who was at the Citadel. That prince being Oberyn.
Oh wow, yeah.
That makes even more sense. Actually, that makes.
I'm a Prince of Dorne.
Yeah, and think about it. I mean, like, you know, like now, mind you, it is not explicitly stated in the books, but it's heavily implied that Oberyn was bisexual. So
I don't even want to think about where you're getting to this, Donwell. You're saying that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the age discrepancy was pretty large. Age discrepancy.
Yeah.
You
like
never
50
know.
years. Nah, I would go that route.
His favorite teacher, and he's like, "Here you go."
Yeah, I would think more like that.
Could be, but listen, this is a Song of Ice and Fire we're talking about here. That's all I'm saying.
Oberyn into the old man balls, huh?
All I'm saying is, I'm not saying that that's what it was. I'm just saying, with this being a Song of Ice and Fire, cannot rule that out. You can't just say, "Oh, he's old, so that couldn't happen."
Ultimately, with this thing, this is like one of those small things that George puts in here that I don't think will ever have a payoff. So I don't even know what's worth even thinking about, really.
No, I think at some point we're gonna get this, because I don't think it's one of those kind of. It's not like the stuff that's far away. The stuff where you hear about like a shy, where it's like, all right, we're never actually gonna see a shy because it's too far away. But this is right here. This is in Westeros, and I think that it's gonna be something where we, at least, if it's not explicitly stated, it'll be something where it'll be like another little Easter egg, you know, just kind of dropped off in there, where it's like, oh yeah, you know, it was this thing that happened that one time, and blink and you'll miss it, kind of thing.
I don't know. To me, it's just such a small detail. It's such a minute detail in this that, like, it's one of those things where I just think George wrote this like many years ago. He probably doesn't even remember that he put it in there. Like, I don't know. I don't think there's ever gonna be.
It's one of those things that Elio would point out to George. You're right.
We'll find out. We'll see. But I think we need to. I think we talked enough about the box. What's in the box? Well, we know what's in the box, but what's the point of the box?
Well, the other thing too, I want to ask, like, okay, the lock of hair, and also the what do you call that? The lock of hair and the little wooden carving. So Pate thinks it's a woman with a mustache. I'm thinking that it might have been maybe either an adolescent son of his, or somebody. I mean, it's obviously a relative, or maybe it's him. Maybe it's him when he was younger. Maybe he looked more feminine or something like that.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't even know if it's that important, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's all about.
I just look at it like this, man. You know, this is one of those kind of RPG kind of things. This reminds me of anytime you play RPG and there's a box with a bunch of stuff in there, and even if they don't all, even if it's not you know, something that heavily affects the story, it's like little Easter eggs of something that came up from like another conversation, or something that'll come up from a conversation later.
That sounds like something Richard Garriott would do in the early Ultima series, or the Ultima series, before EA bought it.
Yeah, or even, you know, Mass Effect or Knights of the Old Republic. It's you know, again, it's not something that necessarily affects the story. It'll be something that'll, you know, get dropped in, like, oh yeah, that was from that one time where this person, like, as far as the glove, they'll be like, oh yeah, you know, Prince such and such went there that one time, and you know, he left it with the maester because he treated him nice or something, like, you know. So I think we're gonna get it, but it's not gonna be like a big thing. It'll be a line, and that'll be it. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
Walgrave is Euron, who is Varys, who is Mance.
Oh man! All right, so do we want to get to the end of this damn chapter now? Because I think we've been stalling long.
Yeah, let's get to the meeting between the stranger, the alchemist, and the thief known as Pate now.
Yeah, so that was a pretty interesting thing. So finally, you know, just as Pate has decided, okay, it's a wrap, it's over, I'm not going to get my damn gold dragon, I might as well just go back. He happens to run into the Alchemist after a few blocks of him walking from the Quill and Tankard, and he's like, dude, you said you were going to meet me at the Quill and Tankard. It's been, you know, now it's kind of over 3 days. He's like, nah, man, you were with your friends. I didn't want to disturb you. You know, I didn't want to make things suspicious. But since we're here, you know, did you get what I asked you for? And Peter's like, yeah, okay, I got it. He was like, so what are you? And he's like, shit. Are you gonna make me say this? Yeah, I'm a fucking thief. Okay, god damn it, man. Like, all right, cool. Where's my dragon? No, nah, we can't be out here in the open like. Let's go somewhere, you know, that's not populated. So takes him down a couple of streets, into a couple alleys, finally gets to this little thin alley. He's like, all right, man, no more bullshit. You know, give me my damn dragon. Pulls out the coin. Pate looks at it for a sec. He's like, oh, there's, you know, the 3-headed dragon on one side and some dead king on the other side. He bites the coin because he's seen people do that, and he's like, I have no idea what gold is supposed to taste like, but okay, fine. So he's happy. He's like, hey, hold on. Before you know, I let you go, man, take off your hood. I want to see who you are. So this is where we get the reveal that the Alchemist is actually a faceless man, and not just any faceless man. He is the last face last identity that Jack and Hagar was wearing. And when he asked him, hey, who are you? He was like, because first he was like, I don't know who you are. And he was like, nah, I'm nobody. Don't even worry about me. I'm no one. And this is where we find out that Pate has been poisoned. He is killed by Jack and Hagar, and yeah, his last thought is of Rosey, and how that damn coin didn't buy him what he thought it was gonna buy him. So, thoughts on this last interaction and the last, thoughts of Pate?
Well, I mean, obviously, it's the first time I read it was pretty shocking. Now, my question is, isn't this this is generally against the Faceless Men MO, isn't it? Because usually it's a contract, a sacrament to their god. They have a contract. Someone asks for it. They usually don't, this seems against their MO of, killing someone in a position that they can benefit from it politically, or, getting information from it from an organization. To me, it just seems like against their MO, unless, someone... But see, even if someone put out a contract for Pate, even then, it's part of that contract, Jack and Hagar taking his identity and then getting information from the Citadel. So I don't know. To me, this seems like it's against their MO. I don't know if you guys feel the same way.
Well, it's a lot bigger than just Pate. No one obviously put a contract on Pate. Who gives a fuck about Pate? I think I don't know if it's so much against their MO. I think he's got something bigger. I mean, he's obviously got something bigger that he's doing that he needs that key for.
Well, I mean, but usually they don't just kill someone for no reason. I mean, they don't kill people unless they're, prayed for to the stranger or whatever, to the many god of many faces. And usually there's a contract involved where they have to sacrifice something great.
JB, are you getting that you think that Jack and Hagar has gone rogue?
No, I'm not saying he's gone rogue. It's just to me that it seems like that maybe that there's that what we know about them isn't completely what we know about them. That they'll do something for their own gains. It's not this kind of honorable assassins guild. They'll go to higher bounds to achieve something that they want. To me, it just seems like it's against their MO.
But they also don't see death as a bad thing. So if they need to get something to accomplish it, giving someone the gift of death to be able to accomplish another goal is no big deal for them.
I mean, but I don't know if that's ever been. I guess I don't know if that's ever been explicitly said. Their kind of sacraments, their rules have kind of been explicitly said. And
kind of, because remember Arya asked him to help them get out. She doesn't explicitly say kill these people, and Jack kills people to make it happen.
I mean, well, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. We only know in terms of motivations what the Faceless Men have told Arya. And we don't know that they're telling her the whole truth. They're telling her what they want her to know in order for her to serve their purposes. So there could be a whole different agenda that they have that we would never find out unless unless we happen to run into a Faceless Man.
I mean, they killed to get people to help Arya escape Harrenhal, so they will kill to accomplish a goal. We've seen it happen.
But it was part of a contract they had. That was one of the consequences of what they had to do to get out.
But that's what I'm saying. This might be one of the consequences of him trying to accomplish another contract. The contract.
I don't think that's the case, because I think that that they're doing this for personal reason. That they're doing this because obviously the Faceless Men come from Braavos, and that we know the history of Braavos, and that they would have a reason to be anti-dragons. And obviously, to me, that their agenda here is to get information on the dragons. So I don't know how.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, I don't think that would be part of a contract.
I mean, the client is themselves. They're doing it for themselves. They're doing what they would normally do for a client, but they're doing it for themselves.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't. To me, it's against what their general MO. But I don't know.
Do you guys think that it's possible that Jack and Hagar thought that Pate, knew too much and he had to kill him? That's why, or do you think?
No, I think it's he wanted to use his face. He wanted to take his face off.
That's exactly the reason.
Well, you know what? Jack and Hagar is a murderous bastard, and I hope he dies in hell.
Well, there's a lot of little murderous bastards in this show.
I mean, I really don't care that he murdered him. Like, I don't give two shits
No,
about Pate. To me, it's just. Go ahead.
I kind of agree with you there, JB, because you put it down. You put it best. He was pathetic, and you know what? It's the type of thing. If you were to talk at his funeral, you'd probably say he never really accomplished nothing, and he, you know, all he wanted in his life was to get a virgin, and you know, he couldn't even get that.
I mean, I have absolutely no qualms of what they did, of what Jack did to Pate. I don't really care what they did to him. I don't even care that they killed him to use his face so they could infiltrate the Citadel and maybe get research on the dragons. Like, to me, that doesn't even that sounds like good strategy. I'm just saying that it just seems like it's against kind of their creed, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I can see what you're saying there. But maybe something's going on that they feel that they need to go away from their creed.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. If they believe, you know, well, not if they believe, they know that there's dragons, then, you know, sometimes I guess you got to go to some extreme measures.
Yeah.
I mean,
so what do y'all think that he's trying to use that key for?
I mean, obviously he wants something inside of. I mean, there's a book that he wants, and the funny thing about it is, you know, Pate kind of gives us the whole thing. He's like, yeah, you know, there's the Valyrian scrolls, deep, you know, deep in the cellars or whatever, and it's just kind of it's just kind of hilarious that it's like, oh wow, you know, I'm surprised that George gave us that clue right there about what he was looking for.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it. So we're gonna go to final thoughts, or you know, about this chapter yet?
No, not yet. We're talking about what we think Jack and Agar might be after.
Oh, I mean,
it's gotta be. Oh, go ahead, JB. I'm sorry.
I mean, I already said it. I think he's there to get information on how to kill dragons. That's what I think he's there for. Something along those lines.
Definitely, I agree with that. It could be also maybe he needs a glass candle for something. But unfortunately, you know, I don't think he's going to get any of that because my prediction is that Sam's going to kill him and wins the winner. I think Sam, because he's gonna try and kill Sam. Sam's going to get in the way, and you know Sam's the slayer, and he's going to get lucky on him. I mean, Sam would probably never be able to defeat Jack and Hagar, but he's Sam, and I think that's what's going to happen. That's what I personally think is going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, because Sam killed. I think it's going to be one of those things where he kills him by accident.
Sam is like fucking Pate the Pig. The story Pate just stumbling around victories left and right.
I mean, yeah, because he killed a White Walker kind of seemingly by accident. I'm trying to think what else.
Up with the girl by accident.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be a thing where Leo Tyrell. Now that I remember Leo Tyrell is there. Leo Tyrell is going to is gonna get killed. Leo Tyrell is gonna be like he's gonna be talking shit to who he thinks is Pate and not realizing is Jack and Hagar. He's gonna wind up getting killed, and then something's gonna happen where it's gonna be Alleras and Sam versus Jack and Hagar. I'm thinking there's gonna be an arrow involved because remember it's the whole thing with her always missing the last shot. And then Sam is gonna wind up somehow killing Faceless Man and discovering that it's a Faceless Man on top of that. Not just killing the Faceless Man and that being it. I think that he's gonna wind up killing Jack and Hagar and discovering that, like, yo, this isn't Pate. How did he do this? And then he's gonna find out like, holy shit, that was a faceless man. And I think also during that time, that's when Sarella will be exposed as Sarella.
Yeah, I mean, I could see something like that going down. That's not my. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I mean, I don't want to say I don't think it's going to happen. That's not on my high probabilities of what will happen, but I can definitely see it happening. Like, it's very plausible. Ricky Hunt's like, he kind of like stabbed him with the purpose. But I mean, he stabbed him, he killed the white in a frantic, basically, what he did.
Listen, he stabbed him he stabbed the White Walker on purpose, but he had no idea that it was going to work.
Yeah, exactly. He like I said, in a frantic thing, desperation.
Well, that's my thing. Like I said before, he's going to get lucky because there's no way he could defeat Jack and Hagar in a regular fight. He's going to get lucky, and he's Sam the Slayer, and I see that happening. I might be wrong. I might be completely dead wrong, and he might get what he gets and get out of there. But I think it's, like I said, it's going to be dumb luck. I think they're going to run into each other, and Sam might question him or something, and then he tries to kill Sam, and Sam gets lucky and kills him.
Normally I would think that's silly, but given that we got the Pig Boy Pate, and we found out exactly what the story of Pig Boy Pate was, a fat guy who went and just dumb lucked everything. That actually gives pretty good credence to what you're saying, LT. So, I mean, it's possible.
I don't think it's far off from what I was saying. I just think that it's going to involve Leo Tyrell and Leo. Because what I think is gonna wind up happening is Sarella is gonna figure out that Pate isn't the same. Like, his movements are gonna be different. Somebody, like, she's gonna be like, yo, Pate hasn't been the same for a while. I wonder what's going on with him.
I mean, I definitely think that's going to be the case because, one, she seems to be very intelligent, very observant, and two, she had a lingering look when they were leaving and he didn't come with them. She kind of had like a lingering look like, what are you doing? So to me, it shows that like she kind of cared about him. Maybe not like in a romantic sense, but like in a, he's my friend, he's kind of dopey and I take care of him, kind of sense. So I think she's going to pick up on the fact that he's not the same.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking, she's gonna pick up on that. She's gonna mention it to Sam and Leo, and probably when they're down there, when he goes to get whatever book he's going to get, right? I'm thinking it's gonna be, he stole the key, he's going to get some book. Leo Tyrell confronts him, winds up getting killed, and then and then it winds up being a scramble where he's trying to then kill Sarella and Sam, and then Sam just so happens to kill him with that whole thing.
And Ricky Hunt mentions that Euron's going to come at Oldtown, which is probably why things are going to be in such a frantic.
Right. Because
Euron will be attacking at that time. Anyways, I think we discussed what we think is going to happen, what we think he's after. I think we all agree that he's after How to Kill a Dragon. Should we move any more y'all have to say, or should we move into our final thoughts on the chapter?
I got nothing else. You guys?
That's about does it.
Yeah, I think we did a phenomenal reread, and it's always awesome to be here with the chat, and bring on the next one.
All right. So, listen, everyone. Oh, yeah, final thoughts on the chapter.
I loved it. Pate is an unlikable dude, but you know what? This is the first introduction of kind of like, this is really the book that we get the small folk perspective, and Pate is as small as it gets. So it's kind of good to get the bit of a perspective, see how things are a little bit different. Things are unfair between. I mean, we got a glimpse of it, like, you know, even as early as Micah and Joffrey. But you know, now we're getting there. We never got Micah's point of view. We're starting to get that point of view. You know, they got cool things like, you know, how they mention all the dragons, different stories. You know, like I said, it's kind of like the Curse of Rashomon, a little bit going on, and he just throws like little tidbits of hint to do world building. It's just a really well done chapter. I really enjoy it.
Okay.
On our first read of this chapter, I was absolutely bored. I wanted to get to, you know, the good stuff, but you know, second time around, it was very interesting and fun, you know. But first, like I said, first time around, I didn't like it.
Okay, and now?
Oh no, same thing. It's interesting and cool, and you know, just looking forward to see what happens in the Winds of Winter with all this, you know.
Okay. And James?
I mean, for me, like, I don't know if necessarily Pate is like unlikable, but I just think he's kind of pathetic. But regardless, yeah, it's, you know, it's a good chapter. You know, if it, to me, it definitely needed to have a payoff, because you know it's like, where is this going? What's the point of all this? And obviously, there's a reason, and I think it has a phenomenal payoff, of course. And I will say, everyone, that my chapter, Theon 6, A Clash of Kings, has been fucking second for 5 months in a row. So vote for that chapter, because it's a great chapter. It's a chapter where Theon gets tricked by Reek, and of course gets revealed as Ramsay. And what's that one guy's name? Who's the Master of Arms that gets killed?
Oh shit.
What's that guy's name?
Damn it, man! With the beard.
His son gets killed. Cassell, Roderick
Yes.
Cassell.
Yeah.
Yeah, his death. So yeah, vote for that chapter. It's a good chapter.
Oh, that's the same chapter where he cuts his arm off and everything.
No.
Oh
No,
no,
Cassell, that's
the
a show.
okay.
Cassell doesn't get killed like that. But yeah,
No, he does get his arm. He does get his arm cut off. Remember, he puts his arm into his hand into friendship to Ramsay, and then they fucking, it's that fight outside the Winterfell.
oh my bad. I thought you said head cut off.
No,
But yeah,
I said his arm.
But yeah. So vote for that chapter. Just throwing it out there. Check our Twitter.
And LT can't vote no more because I won 3 times in a row, so they won't let me vote for any chapters or pick chapters.
You can come back now since you.
No, I want to do this Theon chapter 2, so I'm cool with that.
All right, so yeah, you know what? How about this? How about we just say right now, James got the next chapter. He's
There we go.
He's lost 5 in a row. We can't keep doing that to him. So next month, Theon 6, Clash of Kings.
Awesome.
It was.
Do it.
It wasn't that it was even lost 5 times in a row. It was second 5 times in a row.
It's still lost.
Well, yeah, but if it was last place, and I wouldn't care about it that much. But it was coming in second, so.
Well, you know what though? Nah. James deserves a win. Give that man his win. Clash of Kings, Theon 6 for next month. Signed, sealed, delivered. Boom.
Put your name on it.
All right, so yeah, listen, we are out of here because I know these guys want to watch the finals, and we've been kind of holding up on that. So look, for you already know what the deal is. I will be back finally tomorrow with Ice and Fire opinions, talking about the Iron Throne. Finally, and I will be on camera, and we're gonna get this damn thing fixed so you can see us again. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat who watched this live. Thank you for always helping us to make this a grand experience. LT, where can they find you at? What are you doing? What are you
I
up to?
know. I'm sorry. I apologize. I keep on saying I'm going to do movie reviews. I got the Galaxy S9, so my camera quality is a lot better. I promise. I still want to do it. Do a lot of movie reviews and story time at LT. I do got stories coming. So yeah, I apologize. I'm gonna get that out there for you guys.
All right. Jerry, Targaryen Steamboat. Yeah.
You find me here. So we look forward to next month. Maybe we might have some more ideas or something. Maybe some new types of videos we might be thinking in the works. We'll see about that. That you might be able to check out on the Hypes Watch, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
James Bushell. Sir.
Yeah, you can find me at my channel. Go Cavs, fuck the Warriors, and yeah, I'm out.
Okay, wow. Yeah, and like I said, I will finally be back tomorrow with Ice and Fire Opinions talking about the Iron Throne. So, you guys already know the deal. Rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, and come back for more. Because we will be back next month. Ice and Fire Opinion. Sorry, not Ice and Fire Opinions. We will be back next month for another epic reread. Clash of Kings, Beyond 6. All right. So, yeah, that's been our time. We got Hypes Watch, and we are out. See you guys.
All right.